Hey guys, Eric Knight here, December 16th, 2012. I want to unleash a mini rant on my ideas of America. And are we still the freest country in the history of the world or otherwise? Now, I don't see us so much as being the land of the free and the home of the brave anymore. I think the American public is just a little bit more brainwashed. I look at the way the mainstream media feeds us garbage on a day-to-day basis, and I at one point completely used to be and fall victim to that until I set my emotions aside and stepped out of the whole left-right paradigm and really focused on what the hell is going on in our country today. Now, you could probably ask the American or the, average Joe Blow on the street, and he could probably tell you who the top three contestants are on American Idol, or just rattle off so many statistics on his NFL fantasy football draft. However, you could ask him if Obama's pro-life or pro-choice, they wouldn't have the first clue in the world, or what countries has Obama bombed and how many countries has he bombed since he first took office 4 years ago. Most people don't know these things. Now, I believe we live in a society today, even to start out with this education system that we live in. I look at when I went to college, what a joke. So expensive. And you wonder why college is expensive. It's because the government guaranteed the loans. Now the institutions can run wild and charge whatever the hell they want because they know they're going to get paid the money. The free market doesn't decide anymore. However, when I went to college, I got a degree in air traffic control. I applied in this great government job. I never heard a response. Well, fortunately for me, I actually do have some work ethic. I went out, I got a great job, much, much better than being an air traffic controller, a lot less stressful, and I love what I do. Now, a lot of people today just aren't that fortunate. Even if you look at the elementary level schools, it's just complete indoctrination. The government ran telling you what to think. It's not it's such a joke. Look at how much money we're pumping into the educational system, and look at the results that we have to show for it. I remember seeing this video online and watched it a couple times, and then interpretations of it. It's called The Story of Stuff. And I look at how inaccurate and how much bullshit is in this video, and we're showing this to little fragile minds in schools today. Again, they're teaching you what to think. They're not teaching you how to think. They're not teaching you how to ask questions. They're teaching you how to take orders. They're teaching you how to be a slave wage earner. So many problems with that. Now, to touch on the idea of the liberties that we've lost, especially over the last 10 years. I look at the events of September 11th, 2001. And I'm going to do a special video blog on that and kind of highlight some of the smoking guns that I see. I can't draw any real conclusions on what happened that day, but I sure have a hell of a lot of questions, and I think a lot of other people do as well. However, if you look at the way the mainstream media and other people treat you, if you do raise any questions or suspicions on this controversial issue, shame on you. You're unpatriotic. You hate America. Well, since when is it unpatriotic to ask questions in this country? Remember, Thomas Jefferson had said that dissension is the highest form of patriotism. It used to mean to be a patriot that you would actually question your government, or you would step in and raise your voices when you thought things were wrong. Now we have things like the Patriot Act. How patriotic. We're basically just doing warrantless wiretaps on the American citizens trying to prevent future crimes. It's almost like a bad science fiction movie these days. So we've got the Patriot Act, and now we've got many other things coming through the pipeline. Now I remember they implemented the TSA. Well, great. How many terrorists has the TSA stopped in its entire existence? I can't think of a single one. Now, I remember just years back that we had this underwear bomber, and you hear about him getting escorted through security by a government official, drugged up out of his mind. A foreign citizen without a passport shows up at a gate, gets on a plane with an underwear bomb on. Oh, great. Now we got these crazy body scanners in airports that emit radiation and give people cancer. So, again, it's just another way of enforcing or pushing the public, trying to test the limits. Again, once people are played on their fears, when they see these crises, they're so quick to give up liberties in the best interest of keeping us safe in this country. But do you really have much to fear? We had other things. Well, we've got this group, the Al Qaeda. I would advise people to go look this up for themselves, but the United States government actually created Al Qaeda. They used them against Russia. There's a video on YouTube of Hillary Clinton talking about this. We still use them today. And then you got the boogeyman, Osama bin Laden. Okay. Well, we spent how many dollars trying to find this one guy? And people really believe that with the technology that we have in our military today, we couldn't find this one guy who's supposedly on dialysis, taking his dialysis in a cave somewhere. Okay, sure. I believe it. Yep, we got him. Thank God we got him. Thanks, Obama. You're the best. Just sick. But then we have, just look at some of your other rights today. What rights do you really have? Think about your property rights, personal property. Well, would you consider your income today to be your personal property? I would think so. I mean, you earn it. I've talked about this before. I believe that you're entitled to earn and keep what you earn, nothing more, nothing less. I don't believe that you personally owe me anything, or I don't believe I owe you anything. However, big government, especially these damn liberals, they wouldn't agree with that. So they can strip you of your personal property. Look at right after the Great Depression, I believe. It was at Roosevelt. It come out and said that we need to confiscate all the gold from the public. It was illegal to own gold. So they gave people a cheap payout for this gold, and then they raised the price on it. Well, they stole from you again. Surprise. Look at your rights today. If you own your own personal property, how many hoops do you have to jump through just to do something with your property? You know, can you just go out there and do whatever you please or whatever you want with it? No, you really can't. You have to get permits to build sheds, etc. If the government wants to come in and use it for something else, well, they can just pay us a price for it, and it's theirs now. Even if you don't pay your taxes on the property, well, they can step in and they seize your property again. I look at this. This is something that kind of hits close to home. I live in North Dakota, and we have Devil's Lake up north. And this lake has been flooding or getting much, much higher over the years. Now, there's a lot of farmers that had great land that they used to farm that is currently underwater, maybe 20, 30 feet of water. Obviously, these guys can't produce anything off this land. However, if they don't pay property taxes on this land every single year, oh, great. Well, we're going to come in and we're going to take that property too. Once the floodwaters recede and the land's open again, well, it's the government's now. Sorry. Oh boy, this one's my favorite. This just came out December 31st, 2011. The NDAA. Remember that piece of legislation that Barack Obama promised, oh, Congress should pass it through, but I won't sign it. I'll veto it. Well, it turns out that his lawyers actually wrote the document. And he did sign it December 31st, 2011. While everybody was out drinking and partying and having a good time. You just lost your Bill of Rights. Sorry. Bummer. And what does this do? I mean, basically it says that if anybody's found to be a threat in this country, you lose your Bill of Rights. We're going to detain you indefinitely without due process. What are you going to do about it? So, what defines a person as a threat? That's the better question. Who's a threat? I don't know. It seems like a pretty loose interpretation to me. Anybody could be deemed a threat if they don't agree with you. So, I find that to be kind of scary. And then we had these unconstitutional killings overseas. Was it Anwar al-Awlaki killed in the drone strike? American citizen. Guys at the Pentagon like a month prior. So they go over there and they kill him with the drone. Then they kill his 16-year-old son. All in the best interest of keeping us safe, though. American citizen. So who's to say that they can't ever do it to you? Because, well, we have this, again, government-created thing, Al-Qaeda. And it seems like we're transitioning out of Al-Qaeda into redefining a new threat. And I look at the way that especially these liberal minds can be so manipulated and just so dumb that the shifting is going over to the conservatives, the libertarians, gun owners, Christians, and of course those returning war veterans, the people that risk life and limb overseas to protect our freedoms as the real threats in this country. How dumb and just completely stupid are some of these liberals? It just boggles my mind, especially if you look at how Obama is just a continuation of Bush. Everybody wanted to get out of these wars. Well, he extended the wars. Look at the bailouts. Look at all of this stuff, and look at our the capitalism in this country. Supposedly, we still have free market capitalism. Are you kidding me? We have fascism. And you can look at it from both sides. Even Paul Ryan was just kicking and screaming that we needed to pass this TARP and bail out all these industries in the best interest of the public. Okay, how'd that work out? We just prolonged the disease. We haven't taken the painful medicine. So then you have people like him claiming to be a fiscal conservative. And whatever. It's just so ridiculous. And you wonder why people go overseas with their businesses these days. Is it because they're just greedy capitalists? Or is it there's less red tape, less regulation, lower taxes, it's easier to pay the wages, etc.? They want to make a profit and it's easier overseas. Maybe it makes a little more sense to me. But I actually pay attention. So just interesting times we live in. There was a study, and this was even like a year ago, but they ranked the countries. America barely even cracks the top 10 for the freest countries on earth. I believe at one point we used to be the freest country. I think America was a great idea. I think our founders and framers were absolutely brilliant people that gave us something so amazing and so great. And just the ideas and principles that worked. We're straying from those ideas today. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, they're both the same beast. They're both. There's really no separation between them. It's like a big puppet show, political theater, going back and forth, both sides, and it's just frustrating. Yet these people just argue over these stupid, trivial issues that really don't mean much. Yet we're being stripped and raped of our liberties every single day, losing freedoms left and right in this country, and at what point are people going to just wake up and start to care? That's my only question. So that's my goal with these transmissions. I just want people to think. Go and look some of this shit up for yourselves. Educate yourself. Look to alternative forms of media. Stop buying the garbage in the mainstream. Whether you get it from Fox News or you get it from the liberal media. It's all garbage. Wake up. So I'll leave it at that today. That's my rant. I get pretty heated over this stuff. It's almost like it's just all one big joke. So hopefully we wake up soon. Otherwise, we're just complete history. So sad. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Eric Knight. We'll have much more to talk about tomorrow. God bless the United States of America.